Today we are starting programs related to for loop in Java. It is a part 1. In this topic, in part 1, we will start very simple programs and slowly with the help of simple programs we will be able to do all typical programs related to for loop. So let us start. Sometime question comes, write a program to print numbers from 1 to 5. Very simple. We have discussed this type of program before also. So we have to declare class named anything like, for example, ABC. You can say class number, class numbers, whatever you like, but should be related to the program. Curly braces begin of class. It is a block of class, you can say. Then public static void main string args, your favorite statement. This is the main program started. Inside the main we have written for int I is equal to 1 semicolon I less than equal to 5 semicolon I plus plus. So int I is equal to 1 is a initialization. We are initializing 1 into I. Okay, control comes first to the initialization statement. So here I is 1, condition is true. That is the second part of for loop, I less than equal to 5. So 1 is less than equal to 5, condition is true. It will get inside the loop. Whatever it is written there, it will execute. What is written? System out print ln I. The value of I will be printed. That is 1. See, you can see this one. After this, it will go ahead where it will encounter curly braces of for loop. Then again control will go back to the increment decrement operator. Third part of for loop. Because of I plus plus, the value of I will increase by 1. So I will become 2. I will become 2 here. Clear? Again it will reach to the condition to check whether 2 is less than equal to 5. Yes, condition is true. Again it will get inside the loop and it will print system or println I, that is 2. I is 2. So 2 will print. Again it will reach to the curly braces and it will come back again to increment. I will become 3. I is 3. It will check 3 is less than equal to 5 or not. Condition is true. It will get inside the loop. System or println I. It will print 3. Again it will go to back to the increment. It will become 4. It will become 4. I means 4 less than equal to 5. Yes, condition is true. It will go to inside the block of for loop where I will print it. So I is 4, 4 will print. And again it will go to the increment. Here I'll become 5. 5 is less than equal to 5. Yes, condition again true. It will get inside. System out println I, it will print 5. Then again after this, it will reach to the increment and decrement again. I'll become 6. 6 is less than equal to 5, condition is false. Because of false, it will not get inside the block of for loop. It will come out here. And after this, it will go to the closing of main function, and then it will close to the class. Like this way, we have display, we have print all numbers from 1 to 5. If you want to say, if you want to print 1 to 10, just you have to change I is equal to less than equal to 10. Very simple. So this is how we have done. Okay, do you understand this? It is very simple, but slowly we will understand more programs. Now come to the next. One more thing is there. If you are writing their system out println I, in place of system out println I, you are writing their system out print only, not ln. What will happen? You check yourself on your computer. So, but output will come like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in one line. In one line. Okay? Like this way. So this is how we have generated numbers from 1 to 5. Come to the next program. Write a program to print numbers from 1 to 5 and print sum of all numbers. Now, before we have printed 1 to 5 numbers, now we want to print the sum of numbers also. Same program, what we have done here. Just see. Class for Q2, it is nothing like you can say class ABC, you can say class number, public static void main. Here, because we need one variable to accumulate the values of I, because I is generating the numbers and we need this sum of all the numbers. So we need one number, one variable. So we have chosen here sum. So before using any variable, we have to declare it, what type of value it will contain, and initialization also. Okay, so here int sum is equal to 0. For loop is started. Condition I is equal to 1. I is 1 first time. It will check I less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. It will get inside the loop. It will get inside the loop. Okay. Then system out println I. It will print I. That is 1. I is 1. It will print it here. Sum is equal to sum plus I. The value of sum is what? 0. Then 0 plus I is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Assigned to sum will become 1. Then again it will go to the increment. I will become 2. It will print 2. But not printing sum, because we have not allowed program to print sum here inside the block of for loop. Sum is equal to sum plus I. Sum was 1. 1 plus I is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 is assigned to sum again. It will go back increment. I'll become 3. Okay. then it will get inside because condition is true, 3 is less than equal to 5. So 3 will printed, sum is equal to sum plus I, sum was 3 already, 3 plus 3 is 6. Then again it will go to I will become 4, system out println I, 4 will printed, sum was 6, 6 plus 4 10, sum is become 10. Again it will go to I will become 5, it will print 5 because of system out println I is 5. Sum was 10, 10 plus I is 5, 10 plus 5 is 15. Assigned to sum will become 15. Then again it will reach to I will become 6, condition will become false. Because of false, it will not get inside the loop of for, it will come out. Here, system out print total number of 1 to 5 number is sum. We have declared here. Because of this, the result will be shown as total of 1-5 number is 15, like this way. So this is how it is working. Okay, come to the next. Write a program to print numbers from 5 to 1 in reverse order. Just see class 4 question number 3. Public static void main string args main started for int I is equal to 5. Now what we have done, we have initialized I as 5, I greater than equal to 1, condition I minus minus, curly braces begin, system out println I. What is the value of I here in the beginning? That is 5. So 5 will printed here. Understood? So 5 is printed. Then it will go here. Now I minus minus, it is decreasing now. Increment decrement operator. So I will become 4. It will check 4 greater than equal to 1. Condition is true. It will get inside. Okay. System out println I, it will print 4. Again it will go to increment or decrement operator, that is decrement. I minus minus, it will become 3. System out println I, 3 will print. Then it will go to I, it will become 2. System out println I, it will print 2. Again it will go here, it will become 1. 1 greater than equal to 1, condition is true, it will print 1 also. It will go again, I will become 0. 0 greater than 1, no. 0 equal to 1, no. Condition is false, it will come out. And because of this, for loop is terminated here. Then void main is closed and class is closed. Program is over. Like this way. Understood? Now come to question number 4. Write a program to enter a limit and print sum of numbers from 1 to limit. Before we were giving the number 5, 1 to 5, 5 to 1, like this way. Now we will input a limit, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe 50, maybe 100, whatever, it is your choice. So write a program to enter a limit. That means you have to enter after running the program, after compilation of the program. Okay, let us see what is the program here. Okay, let us see here. Write a program. Okay, import java.io.asterisk. What is the, it is a new statement here. Import java means import java.io. io means input output files. Dot asterisk means all the files. So all the files of input output stream import for this class. This is the meaning of this. So whenever you want to enter, whenever you want to input some values in the program, then you have to use import java.io.asterisk class for one. This is a one name of the class. Then public static void main string args throws IO exception. Main is started. System or println enter limit. This is the prompt string. Because of this, enter limit will print buffer reader br is equal to new buffer reader new input stream reader system.in. So here we are just creating one object named br is nothing, just like a variable named br. So nothing I have done. You can write there any cr or dr, whatever you want. But why I have written here? Because I have taken b from buffer and r from reader, just only, nothing else. You can use any another variable. So we are creating here in buffer class. Int n is equal to integer dot parse int br dot readline. With this statement, we will input the number which will store in variable n. So Java accept everything in a string form, and we had to convert it into integer form. So we have used integer dot parse int. Parse means conversion. Br dot readline means read the line. Br is the object, through object. Parse int, convert in int, okay, and assign to n. This is the meaning of this statement. Okay. So this statement, and int s is equal to 0, one variable we have taken to get the sum. As we have taken their sum, here we have taken s. You can say you can have total, whatever you want. Int I is equal to 1. Here, new thing. Before we are using int I is equal to 1, so we were declaring as well as initializing also. In this, I have purposely taken this statement int I before, means any variable must declare first. Okay. So I is 1 first time, I less than equal to n. For example, in n we have input there 6. So in for loop condition, 1 less than equal to 6, condition is true, it will get inside s equal s plus I. So I will become 1, because 0 plus 1 is 1, assigned to s. Then control will go back to the increment. I'll become 2, and it will go to condition 2 less than equal to n. Condition is true because n is 6 and I is 2. S is equal to s plus I. I is what? 2. S was 1. 2 plus 1, 3, and so on. By this way, it will go and go and go, and it will check the condition till condition is true. It will execute the for loop. The time will come when I'll become 6. Then 6 less than equal to n, yes, condition is true. Again it will get inside, and 6 will be added to s. Then it will go again, I'll become 7. When I'll become 7, then 7 is less than equal to n. N was 6, condition is false. Then for loop will terminate, it will come out for the loop and system out print s. We have declared here system out print s. Then it will print 21. Okay. So like this way, total is equal to 21. If you print system out println in between inverted commas, total is equal to 21. So it will print total is equal to 21. That's all. So this is the question now. But we have declared here system out println s outside the loop, not inside the loop. Some students are having questions why we can we write system out println s after the s is equal to s plus I. Yes, you can write, but what will happen? It will add I in s and same time it will print the value of s. वो करता जाएगा, प्रिंट भी करता जाएगा, ऐड भी करेगा, प्रिंट भी करेगा. Then the purpose of this program will be over. So first the value of s must be accumulate all the numbers generated by I, and when I will be over, for loop will be terminate, then only we have to print the value of s. That is the thing. Come to the next question. You can see very interesting question. Write a program to input a number and print its table. Same way, class table, public static void main, system or println and enter number, buffer reader br is equal to new buffer reader, because you had to input here number, just why you have used buffer reader also. So n is 0 integer %. Suppose you have input here 5, int I, c and 0. Int I, c is equal to 0. C, I have taken one variable, you can take any one. So you can see here, just see the output here. Enter number 5. 5 into 1 is equal to 5. So it is a table of a number 5. So 5 into 1, so we can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are generated, we can generate with the help of for loop. And 5 is nothing, it is a number n which we have input. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, these are the result. So there are 3 variables we have used, n, I and c. So 5 is n, okay, 5 is n, c, 5 is n. We can say if we use it, what we are doing here, for loop is started, I is equal to 1, condition is true, I is less than equal to 10, it will get inside, c is equal to n into I. N is what? N is 5 into I is what? 1. C is what? Assigned by n into I, that is 5. So this is printed because this system out println n multiplication sign, I is 1, so n is 5, I is 1 is equal to, will printed as it is, plus c, c is 1, c is what? 5, so it will print it. It will go to I will become 2, c is equal to n, n is what? 5, okay, into I is what? 2, assign 5 into 2, 10 into c, so it will print, it will assign 10 to c. Then system out println n is 5, this one, N is 5, I is 2, and C is 10. So 5 into 10, 5 into 2 is equal to 10. It will print 10 also. And so on, like this way. I will become 3, then 5 into 3 is equal to 15. It will print like this way. And it will execute 10 times, and one by one it will print 5 into 5, 25, 5 into 6, 30, and so on, like this way. So by this way you are generating the table. So you just write down all these programs and dry run these programs without machine, without computer. Write down in your copy and try it without machine. You just execute it in your mind and try to understand how these are working. So these are the programs. In next part I'll take more programs for you. Till that time you just practice for these programs, and we will have more typical programs. Okay, goodbye.